What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Survivor Speaks, and I'm going live because they're saying that the verdict, they got a verdict that's in. They're saying that the verdict is in, but they brought the seal back. We didn't have anybody on the seal. Um, we didn't have anybody on the. They didn't have the seal present at first when they were waiting for um, to see if they came back with a verdict. So now we have the seal, and they're saying that the verdict is going to be the verdict is in. So let's see what happens. All right, let me just bring. I'm gonna bring this on stage here, and I'm gonna just sit over on the side, see if we got a little movement going on with. Oops. All right. So yeah, the seal is moving. The seal is moving. Oh, did I break it? Did I break it? I might have broken it. Oh no. So there it is, but okay. Are we I saw the seal moving before. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, so yeah, it is playing. So they're saying that the verdict is in. I told y'all we might be getting a verdict tonight. We might be getting a verdict tonight. You know? I hope that these people got it together. You know what I'm saying? Let's share this to my community wall. Oh, yeah, yeah. We have movement. There may be a verdict. We have movement. Y'all, the verdict is in. Shall. I don't know if I'm going to just do this. Shall. You would think that I'm getting ready to get sentenced. I just want justice for George. Justice for George, that's all that we want. Justice for George. This is a whole mess. Maybe I'll just put it in the chat. Justice for George. Oh, she probably over there at and probably told them justice for George. Yeah, that's what we're doing over here. You know what? I'm gonna do it from here because I can put my emojis. I hope we getting some justice for George. I hope we getting some justice for George because yeah, I'm just talking, ain't nobody here, but I'm in my element. And they go that banner moving, y'all. They said that the verdict is in. The verdict is in. Justice for George. Justice for George. Whew. Well, who these folks? No, the seal is moving, y'all. The seal is moving. Should I change the stage and make? And I need to see Sierra's face on a big. Let me just. I'm okay. I'm gonna put myself at the bottom. Yeah, because I'm gonna need to be able to see that there's justice for George. Come on, I'm so nervous. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous, child. Oh, child, I'm sitting here so nervous. I hope these jurors got it right. I hope they got it right. I hope they got it right. The verdict is in, people. The verdict is in. The thing is, when y'all going to let it go, let it out, let her rip, let her slip. You know, I could take because I'm up there on. Oh, maybe I could take myself. Oh, then y'all ain't gonna be able to hear me. They'll mute me if I go off the stage. So until they come back with a verdict, I mean, until they step in with the verdict, we're gonna stay right here. Now, I hope they don't have us all. Hope they don't have me all excited about this verdict, and it's something like, oh, they get ready to go home because this judge said 9 o'clock. It was when he was going to release them if they had not come up with a verdict. And they should know that 9 o'clock. I had said a little lie for 9 o'clock because the judge said by 9. Now they saying the verdict is in. Let's go, let's go. I want justice for George. Justice for George. Chill. I'm over here shaking like a hooker in church. Chill. This is too much. I don't know how much my little heart can take. Ooh, because this child. The verdict is in. Oh my goodness. Justice for George. George was definitely he was definitely a DV victim. Definitely a DV victim. Now, come on, y'all. Y'all had that seal was moving. Who is the issues? Boone's attorneys, because that Boone. Oh, I'm gonna have to look him up. I'm gonna have to look up Mr. Owens. Mr. Owens. I mean, I understand he was advocating for his client, but he crossed the line so many times. So many times he crossed the line. So many times. He done crossed that daggone line. it wasn't nice then and it wouldn't be nice now, you know? Um, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. Oh no.
Second. We are on the record in case number 2020 CF 2603, State of Florida versus Sarah Boone. State, let me get your parents for the record.
Steve Castro on behalf of the state. William J. for the state.
Defense.
James Owens for Miss Boone.
Child, the verdict is in. The verdict is
Okay,
in.
all right. Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table, wearing the same clothing from this morning.
Lord.
Yes, Mr. Beck.
Judge, they've got her in chains and they've got her in the ankle
That's where she need to be.
cuffs, so she can't go anywhere.
That's where she need to be. That's where she need to be.
We would like to rise during the jury coming in. I'm asking.
He complaining about everything, child.
Handcuffs and the waist chain, so that the jury
Sir.
can see in case there's something wrong with the verdict form or there's an issue, which sometimes happens, but that's my position.
Okay. I've been advised by the sheriff that during the reading of the verdict, due to Miss Boone's status as an inmate, their leg irons and the cuffs are to be attached.
But she's going to stay seated.
That's fine.
That's
Mr.
fine.
Beck's going to stay seated.
I would ask for us all to remain seated, and could you remind everybody in the gallery that there should be no emotional reactions to the
I was
verdict?
just about to address that, sir. Thank you very much. All right, members of the jury, my understanding, or members of the gallery, good evening. My understanding is that the jury in this matter has reached a verdict. I don't know what it's going to be until it's read. If you are unable to contain yourself emotionally and you're going to react in any way, be it in joy or in sadness, I'm going to ask you politely to excuse yourself at this time. There cannot be any emotional outbursts when the verdict is read. Does everybody understand that? I see everybody nodding their heads. Okay. All right. State, are we ready to bring in our jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, are we ready to bring in our jury?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring in our jury. Everyone will remain seated.
The verdict is in, y'all.
You enter.
The verdict is in, y'all. The verdict is in. I'm so nervous the verdict is in.
State, do you recognize our jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Child.
Defense, do you recognize our jury? Members of the jury, you may be seated. Thank you. Members of our jury, good evening. I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand the verdict form to the deputy, please.
Child. I'm so nervous, like I'm about to get.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, if you could please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the Ninth
Come on.
Judicial Circuit in
Justice for
Boone-Found,
George.
Florida, case number 2020 CF 2603, the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone.
Yes.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of
Yes!
murder in second degree
Yes!
as charged in the information.
Yes.
Filthy will dated at Orlando, Orange County,
Yes.
Florida, on this 25th day of October 2024.
Yes.
The form has been signed by the four persons.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, please poll our jury.
Jury seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes. It was the right verdict.
Is this your true and correct verdict? Yes, it is.
It's the right verdict.
Is this your true and correct verdict? Jury seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Jury seat number 5,
Guilty.
is this your true and correct verdict? Yes. Jury seat number 6, is this your true and correct verdict? Yes, ma'am.
Members of
Guilty.
our jury, again, I want to thank you for your time, your sacrifice,
Yes.
and your attention in this matter. I know that we spent almost 2 weeks together, and it was not
Yes.
taken lightly, and I really appreciate the time and the effort and the sacrifice that you put into this case. I want to advise you now of your final instruction. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration in this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak to anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. With that, members of the jury, again, I thank you for your service. I'm going to ask you return to the deliberation room. I'll be back there shortly with your jury certificates, and thank you.
Go ahead.
That was the right verdict. You know, the jury did their thing.
Ms. Boone, the jury has spoken in this matter and has found you guilty of murder in the second degree. The court adjudicates you guilty of murder in the second degree. As this is your first felony conviction, you are entitled to a pre-sentencing investigation by the Department of Corrections. Mr. Owens, are you seeking that in this case?
Yes.
Okay. State, I will order the Department of Corrections to prepare the pre-sentencing investigation. State, for the purposes of sentencing, do you anticipate eliciting any testimony from, be it the victim's family?
Yes.
2 or 3 victim impact statements, sir?
Okay. Mr. Owens, do you plan on presenting any evidence during the course of the sentencing hearing, sir?
Probably some testimony from Dr. Harper.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
How long do you think, State, that you would need?
You mean timing-wise, or are we thinking?
A quantum of time, sir. Yeah, well, normally it takes about 30 days or so. I'm confirming with Anita as to availability. I just want to know from your side of the ledger, how much time? Okay, 15 minutes. How much time do you think you're going to need to produce anything from your side of the ledger, sir? Mr. Owens?
I'd say 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 to 45.
So if we set this for an hour, that would be sufficient.
Parties agree.
Okay.
State agrees.
Is that sufficient, Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Okay, all right, give me a moment.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This judge is very fair. He's very fair. And he put up with a lot with her. Child, he needs to be over on the YSL trial.
Ms. Barrios is checking. Just give us a moment. We can set this matter for 1:30 in the afternoon for sentencing on December 2. State, is that acceptable? It's a Monday.
I had a status hearing, but I'll make it work.
I can move it to later if necessary.
I'm co-counsel on it. I'll make it work.
Okay. Defense?
Give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Monday?
That's Monday, December 2 at 1:30.
Yes, sir.
I can be here.
Ma'am, you've been adjudicated guilty. I now remand you into the custody of the
Wow,
Orange
look at
County
his
Jail
family,
pending
look at
sentencing
his
on December
mother,
2
look
at
at his
1:30.
brother.
State, anything else we need to address?
No, say.
Defense? All right, thank you very much. We're off the record.
Okay. I am so happy. I am so happy that this is finally over. I'm sure that Sarah is on her way back to her cell to write the judge a nice, nasty letter, because that's just who she is. But George got his justice, and that's all that matters. No one, man or woman, should have to be subjected to any type of violence. But in this case, where this is a woman and George was a man, he weighed 103 pounds, she weighed 100 pounds. So it didn't make a difference how her, it didn't make a difference how these attorneys tried to switch it. The best thing that Sarah Boone did with her self-proclaimed intelligent self was to document. That was the best thing that she did, was document everything. What you documented, because I have a right to my opinion. What you documented during up until the time that you unalived George, for me, and this is my opinion, this was premeditated. Anybody can say whatever they want to say. This was premeditated. She had this in the plan for a while. And so now I just want the judge to remember all of the disrespectful letters and everything that she sent to him and give her just due, because you offered her a plea deal. She decided that she wasn't going to take it. So now she got what she gave. You know, you had this attorney, and her attorney, Owens, I saw him on YouTube saying, when the judge told her he was not getting her another lawyer, I saw him on YouTube saying, well, do you guys think I'm crazy if I take the case? He was asking people, he was like, I'm thinking about taking the case. And I had looking out because it came up in the feed, and I was like, oh, this guy is bonkers. He don't know what happened to the rest of these. He don't know what happened to the rest of the people that the attorneys that was trying to defend her. And so he took the case, and to me, he was very what do you call those attorneys? I mean, he did what he had to do for his client. That's what he because he was not hired by her. He offered his services pro bono. So him and his uh, his partners, you know, shut their firm down to take on this case. But to me, he overdid it. I think her attorney really, really overdid it. And to mock George in your closing statement was so distasteful that this like it was so he wasn't there this morning when they were um when the state continued their rebuttal case. He wasn't there for what was said. I'm sure his partners told him, but when he started with his closing statements, it was like, because you wasn't here, you didn't pay attention to what the state finished with. You kind of went against what people were thinking, and you know, or what what the state had said in earlier, because he wasn't there. And so and so I think that he just did himself a big this attorney. Hold on, you all. Okay, I don't know how she got on. This came on somebody I was looking at. So yeah, so the thing is that the thing is he said some very distasteful things when he came up to closing, because he didn't hear the state's he didn't hear the state finish their rebuttal. So I would have changed some questions if I was him. I wouldn't have just like came out here and, you know, all willy-nilly just, I'm going to continue to be, you know, who you guys pulled out of me, because at first he was like really relaxed, laid back. You know, Sarah probably got in this behind. Listen, what you doing? I need you to be a beast. Sarah, no, you need to say thank you to all these people, you know, these judges and the whole team. I mean, not the judge, the your attorney and the whole team that he brought with him. But the facts is just facts, and we are only looking at evidence. It doesn't. People have to remove themselves out of, you know, your emotions. You have to take your emotions out of trials. Now, I'm not an attorney. I wanted to be one, but I'm just in love with the law. But you know, I don't like when the law is used incorrectly. And you know, I don't like when people use their power, because they are in law, to hurt other people. We definitely need the police, but sometimes they always say they got somebody, the police, and the police, but a lot of times it's not like that. And there are some very good examples of officers that, you know, share their, you know, lives on, you know, TikTok and stuff like that. And a lot of people are like, oh, you know, they really shouldn't be. But the one officer, I forgot what his name is. I think it's Tony. Well, you know, a lot of times he shows up on social media in a uniform or without. He's just always helping his community, regardless of color. So that's a beautiful thing, and I like that. But the thing is, you know, her trial couldn't have been at a better time, couldn't have been a better month. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, right along with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And just like men can get breast cancer, there are men that are suffering from domestic violence. It is a thing. And they had me at a point, because I was always Team George, because I followed this thing from the beginning. So I was always Team George. But when her attorneys, they just picked out some pictures and stuff of her, and it was like her eye was all messed up, but then they showed her outside talking to the cop around the same time, and the eye wasn't like that. So did Sarah take a marker and mark around her eye? Because when that happened to her, she definitely called the cops. She didn't want them to do anything to George, but he beat my you know what. But the eye, and so I do know, like when somebody hits you, if somebody hits you in your eye, it might get a little red at first, and you may wake up the next day and you got this big whopper. But it looked like shoe polish or Sharpie or something like that. I just know that when, she was using the cops as a weapon. So when she was calling the cops on George for no reason, calling the cops because she at somebody else's house talking about she don't want to go home because she don't know whether he there. But okay, so if you don't know whether he's there, like, what are we doing? And they even offered to say, tell her, once you get 5 minutes away from your home, give us a call. The police will meet you there. They will be there on time. They can go and check the house before you go in there. And yeah, she brought a whole bunch of police there. But the thing was, she kept putting George out, had him taken off the leash. That's because the neighbors were complaining about both of them. But most of the time she was the aggressor. I'm going to keep saying it every time I can. And the state proved that in their case. Regardless, I don't care how mad her attorney got. It is what it is. These videos and stuff that they're showing are from your client's phone. So she was documenting, but she lied to all of y'all. She lied to the attorneys. She lied to the police during the interrogation. She lied to the doctors, didn't give them all the right information so that they can diagnose her properly. She just lied all the way around. And this is the biggest thing that I'm grateful for is that you have no more demands to make. No more demands to make. But what you're going to have to do on Monday, you're going to have to sit there on Monday and hear them victim impact statements. And I can't wait. It was, she done cursed this whole man family out. Because of whatever is in her head, her head. But you know what I found out? Sarah was on TV when she was younger. And so she may have the type of attitude that she has because of that, because she was on TV years ago. Some people do it. We got some, people running around YouTube wanting the same perks that they had when they was really, somebody for a minute. And so that could be it. She has like narcissistic traits, is what the doctor said for the state. I think she's a straight up narcissist though. But she said the reason why she could not diagnose her as a narcissist is because she lied. She didn't give them all the information. She lied to them. But what the little bit of information that she did gave her enough to say, if she does suffer from PTSD, it's situational. And in this situation, George was already in the suitcase, zipped up. He could not get out of the suitcase. And he told you. He calling you, Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Sarah, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Well, that's how I feel when you cheat on me. And then she said, this is for everything that you've ever done to me. This was premeditated. That's it. That's all. I said it. That's my opinion. I got a right to my opinion. This was premeditated. Well, I'm going to get on out of here. I was just sitting around because I knew we was going to get a verdict today. I knew we was going to get a verdict today. So, make sure you get your mammograms, feel your boobies to make sure that you are all right. And don't you dare let anybody come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I am Survivor Speaks, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. All right, gotta go. A girl is tired. I'm going to bed. I see y'all on the flip side.
Full cycle, I just might though just like a Michael. Mama gone now, I'm thinking death is now we entitled. And it was me versus me, them battles had to fight through. And when you way in the dark, them demons try to fight you. But you can't let them when you gotta see the damn light. Diabetes came from nowhere, messed up whole life. That's what I used to think, my mama helped me out. I got one deer in the sky to make proud, don't count me out. Let's get it started, rest in peace my mama, I don't wanna talk. Fresh fit, who that little nigga, fresh the way he walk. New drip, I'm that one dude creating all the sauce. News flip, you that one do the worker, not a boss. It's safe to say that after all this, I'm standing tall. It's safe to say that after all this, I'm still gon' ball. It's safe to say that after all this, I never